Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna speak about the history of hyper casual game and understand it betterly. So first of all, let me tell you a quick brief about the slides with that I'm gonna talk to you about today. First, I'm gonna start telling you how hyper casual gets started and how it used to be when it first started and the game that used to be really popular back then. Afterwards, I'm gonna talk about the current games. Then I'm gonna start comparing between the current game and the old games to see how it got evolved in a way that we can understand the future of hyper casual game, or if you're looking to make new trends on hyper casual game, so you can have better understanding what to focus on and what's your expectation further on the hyper casual game. So basically, let me start talking about myself. I'm Abdulrahman Adham, game designer and business developer at Groovy Antoid and founder of Foundering Studio. I have worked for over 140 prototypes and successfully published 4 of them and 1 casual game. And now currently I'm working in Groovy Antoid. Groovy Antoid, it has been in the market since 2016 with a team of wacky developers. And we are focused on different type of games, ranging between mobile to web and social media and different platforms, and as well as PC. And successfully, we have released Fat Bunny, which is basically endless hover on mobile game in 2018, which got over 3 millions of downloads in China. And we have worked with various partners, including CMG and Rakuten, Quali, Voodoo, and many clients from around the world, including Mid East, UK, Japan, and of course, UNICEF lately. So let's get started. So how hyper casual gets started? That's actually, many of you, I think, have known the very first game or have heard it or maybe even played it, which is basically Floppy Bird. Floppy Bird, actually, it started in 2013, and that game really had really simple, understandable mechanic, and since it got released, the popularity of hyper casual games start rushing. Every developer, every publisher start running toward the market after seeing the potential, the high potential behind the game. So let me talk to you about what Floppy Bird made it really unique and make it really successful. Basically, Floppy Bird has simple control, which is basically just tap and it will jump and it will fall down automatically, and you start again tapping to make it jump, which is so simple to control, can be understood by everyone. Straightforward. The second point is actually really important in this game because the game is so obvious in terms of the visuals, the character, the progress even of the game is just gradually get harder. It doesn't give any surprises to the player, which makes it really simple to play it in any time, which that of course what makes hyper casual game really unique, because you can play it in anywhere, anytime when you have 10 or 5 minutes to play a game. Easy to understand. So the game is basically when you started, you are going to see a character. So the first thing, you are going to try to interact with your phone by tapping, because that's the most thing you are using it in your phone. So you are going to see the character start jumping around. After a couple of seconds, you are going to start seeing your first vibes. So having 2 vibes and kind of hole between them, it just indicates you have to go through them. And the moment you collide with one of the vibes, you are gonna fall down. So it just gives the player live feedback about what's going on. And the moment you pass through the vibe, you are gonna get indicator on top. It's 1 more, 2, 3, 4, as much as you are progressing in the game. And the moment the game is ends, you are gonna have a UI that tells you your score and compare to your best score. So you are basically, after 1 round of playing the game, you are going to understand the goal, which is basically try to break your high score and how to play the game entirely. So that basically how it started, making kind of comparative game between you and your friend, and start talking to everyone, could you download it? Let's see how his score is going to be, blah, blah, blah. That actually made the game really unique. The fourth one is free to play. So the game is only by using advertisement, it used to support the developer. which actually, yeah, we used to have many games before, like such as like in Nokia, even not before even Android and iOS got in the market. But the thing is, in Happy Bird, it combined the four elements here, which is like I mentioned them before, and it, of course it's free to play. Which the combination between them that started releasing the hyper casual genre. So, how hyper casual games used to be? Let's start actually with this 4 point again. So first thing, it used to be really addictive mechanism. It's like if you would play helix jump, it's just one basic mechanic that you used to play it by swiping right and left, and it's so addictive, so satisfying, crushing them, go between the elements. It's really amazing. So the first thing that we used to have in hyper casual game is addictive mechanic. Second, so simple art. The art used to be like using, if it's 3D sphere as a character, if it's 2D a circle, and cone for the 3D to indicate the obstacles, and for the 2D using triangles. It's so simple shape with simple colors, red for danger and green for like something you can interact with safely, yellow to indicate collectible things, or goldish color. That much symbol it used to have to teach the player really quick how to play the game. The third one is they used to have high depth, low progress. Actually, this one, it kind of has a negative and positive at the same time, in a way that the player, while playing the game, after progressing in it, doesn't surprise in the player with a weird new mechanic. It just keeps consistently, which, for example, like in many runner games I used to have, if you play it for 10 hours or 10 minutes, you are gonna have the same exact mechanic repeating. And if it just increased by difficulty a bit, the thing is, it used to just have something which is in point four is that challenge. Challenge is basically make the player practice the game to be better in it. If you compare it like to other games, like hyper casual games, how it used to be, it's like much you play it, much you get better compared to the current one, which is different now. So it used to be having this kind of mechanism, like the depth of the game is basically practicing it more, figuring out methods to solve the puzzles, or like progressing in the obstacles or the lines. So let's see some example of old hyper casual games. Here, like as you see, like all of them, they are using the same visual for the character, which is circle or sphere, and some same like vibrant colors, same environment, so simple, no texture used, except the helix jump has a bit gradient. That's it. It's so simple. And here you can see all the game, they are having the same exact mechanism when you are playing them. If you play one of them, it's going to be just increasing the difficulty, not actually like introducing new things to the game. So that's how it used to be hyper casual games. So let's grab a look at the current one now. So the current hyper casual game now is more focusing on giving satisfying mechanic. For example, like we are seeing in cleaning, like a window, for example, which gives satisfaction of like clean environment, or for example, like cutting hair, or like candy things, or trying to crush it or breaking the walls. It's so actually satisfying to play with the game. So that's now something get introduced in mid of 2019. Second point is stylized art. Stylized art now, if you're seeing the character, it's more closer to the realistic ones compared to the old one. It's basically we just have three main jumps in hyper casual games. First, it starts as a sphere, then it jumped to be stick man, which is symbol 3D model, and currently now we are working with more details that like we can understand it's a female or male. Is it like young girl, for example, or old man? Is we start having some differentiation. Is it fat or slim, etc., etc. The third one is low effort, high rewards. You are seeing now in the current hyper casual games is mostly like you are having a couple of clicks and you are interacting with the entire world kind of thing. So if you want to collect tree, for example, you just need to stand next to it. You don't need to chop it manually. If you want to control some, for example, like in theme park, you just need to control basic buttons, not that much complicated. And what should, as a feedback you are getting is really high reward. With a small interaction, high reward. That's what's the game are currently working on. The fourth one we are having is simulation. Like I mentioned earlier, like cutting hair, makeup, or even like the nails painting. It's so much such simulation. The real life things, real life jobs, real life interaction. So as a developer or game designer, the way of having game ideas basically by observing the world and look around us and simulate it in the game. So that's how currently we are working in hyper casual markets. So let's grab a look to understand what I was saying in the previous, in some example here. For example, in Queen Bee here, we have simulation of high mid-school girl that try to be popular around by look fancier, like for example, grabbing TikTok or Instagram and such like this and that, and getting around her more students. It's basically simulation of social life in mid or high school. The one on the mid, you can even like see how the strawberry is kind of realistic. It feels like not that much yet, but we have the satisfaction feeling of mixing the colors and combining them to get the result toward the red color in the strawberry. And the one on the right, theme park, its game has multiple of game mechanisms, such as like you are seeing here, like allowing people to enter or not, controlling the roller coaster, etc., etc. It's basically simulating the entire theme park, which is that's now current hyper casual game are going towards. So let's have a quick comparing between the old and the current one side by side. If you look at as a puzzle genre, here on the right side we have 2048. The game I remember like when I was playing it, I used to have like really complicated method in a way to get my to highest score, like try to combine them in the corner, etc. Going up. Any slight mistake is kind of punishment for me. But it had that addictive mechanism that like I want to play it over and over to break my high score or even like to compare it with my friends. So it used to be more challenging gameplay compared to the current one, which is basically like matching the colors, which is in collect them all. It's basically matching color with some boost on the bottom side of the screen that helps you to, if you're stuck in somewhere in the game and you cannot progress in it. So it's much similar, higher satisfaction the game now are currently going towards. In terms of art, actually here like you can see big difference. In like for example, Raise Up game, it's so much simple. Like you are going just toward the up of the screen, white elements, solid background. But in Moon Pioneer, for example, the game it's way much complicated in terms of the visuals, like way much colors, way much like interaction with the environment, like you have to build, collect, explore. It's just gave it like more progress toward the game, which is like here in this game, like two games, we have a really big difference looking at the time and how they start hyper casual and how it's currently now. So let's go to the next one. Yeah, this one actually you can see how the runner on the right side compared to the runner on the left side. Actually, I forgot to rename the titles here. Okay. So on the runner on the right side, it's just a sphere that's interacting with colors. It's nothing that much complicated, and it doesn't simulate anything related to real life. Compared to the one on the left side, it's basically a runner that's simulating baking pizza. Okay. So here in the baking pizza, like basically you are trying to bake it and collect the flavor on top of it, etc., which is basically give the vibe and more flavor toward the game. So yeah, that was actually my presentation. Thanks a lot for your listening.
Thank you, Abdulrahman. It was great, just great. So I think it's time for questions now. So
yeah,
we are waiting for your questions. still waiting. We still have some time, so please be
Yeah, I made
brave.
it quick, a bit quick actually, like just to grab the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So the first question is general about the whole theme you described. What do you think? Will the end of the pandemic change the hyper casual game industry or not?
Yeah. Well, actually, if you look at the analysis of the player where they are playing the game, it's not actually that much related to the pandemic. For example, like they are playing the game while they are waiting on the line or they are waiting for something else. For example, they are opening even a console game, and while loading screen is taking much time, they are playing some games. So I don't think pandemic is going to affect the hyper casual industry at all, actually, in terms of like after hopefully it goes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
The next one. What could be hyper casual trends for the upcoming year? For this year, because it's still
Yeah.
start.
Yeah. Actually, like predicting for the entire year, to be honest, is kind of hard question. It's like mostly we are trying to indicate, predict the short term. But looking at what we have evaluated in, let's say, in the hyper casual genres, the games are more toward better art style, more mechanics in the game. So what I'm assuming, like we are gonna have many branches toward like better art, combining multiple mechanics in that same game, and at the same time more challenging, because like we went to a time between in 2020, late 2020, early 2021, it used to be really satisfaction based, less than like competitive or like challenging, and now we are going back slowly to more challenging game. So yeah, this kind of three things that I'm expecting for the next year, hopefully.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And now, please, let's talk about some geographical locations. What are the trends of the hyper casual games market in your region now? Are there any significant differences from other regions?
Actually, it's not that much different. It's basically mostly in the difference in order kind of thing. If, for example, like we are comparing, I'm here in Turkey. If you compare Turkey to America, for example, like the game is on the first, on top chart of America, is like here the third or the fourth kind of thing. It's not that much different in terms of what are the game. It's kind of the ordering of the game is becoming the different. Because if you make a good quality game that like it's number one in a country, is going to be, of course, in the top 10 in other countries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it was really cool. So thank you very much, Abdulrahman. And I think
Thanks for
we
you
will
as well.
go on in a few seconds. So bye.
Bye bye.